Hello and welcome back to Start Smart with Heart. I'm Joan Rio and I'm so thankful you've joined me today. This podcast exists for one purpose: to help individuals, families, tribal communities, entrepreneurs, and future leaders build lasting prosperity through wisdom, stewardship, and asset literacy. In our last episode, we talked about why communities must teach ownership, not just employment. Today, we're taking another important step. We're talking about something many families overlook. Generational wealth does not begin with money, it begins with wisdom. Without wisdom, money is often temporary. Without understanding, assets are easily lost. Without preparation, one generation spends what another generation spent a lifetime building. Today's conversation isn't really about wealth, it's about legacy.
Wisdom is the principal thing. Therefore, get wisdom, and in all you're getting, get understanding. The greatest inheritance. When people hear the phrase generational wealth, they usually picture money, investment accounts, real estate, businesses, trusts, land. Those things certainly matter, but history teaches us something important. Many wealthy families lose their wealth within only a few generations. Why? It isn't always because markets fail. It isn't always because businesses fail. Often it is because wisdom was never transferred. The assets were inherited. The knowledge was not. The money was passed down. The stewardship wasn't. One generation sacrificed, the next generation enjoyed. The third generation often wondered where it all went. Money without wisdom rarely survives, but wisdom creates the ability to rebuild even after loss. That's why Proverbs begins with wisdom, not wealth. Wisdom creates better decisions. Every financial decision begins long before money changes hands. It begins with thinking. How we think determines how we choose. How we choose determines how we build, and what we build determines what we eventually leave behind. Wisdom asks questions like, should I purchase this? Should I wait? Should I borrow? Should I invest? Should I protect this asset? Should I teach someone else what I've learned? Wisdom slows us down. It causes us to think beyond today. Foolishness often asks, what do I want right now? And wisdom asks, what will this decision mean 10 years from now? That single question changes everything. When communities begin asking long-term questions instead of short-term questions, resilience begins to grow. Passing down more than property. One day, every one of us will leave something behind. The question isn't whether we'll leave a legacy. The question is, what kind? Will we leave confusion, clarity, debt, or opportunity, conflict, or preparation? Many families spend years preparing wills. Very few spend years preparing heirs. An heir who inherits wisdom can rebuild. An heir often inherits only money, may struggle. That is why conversations matter, teachings matter, mentorship matters, parents matter, grandparents, community leaders, teachers, pastors, business owners. Every one of us has an opportunity to pass something valuable forward. Sometimes the greatest inheritance isn't financial. Sometimes it's perspective. Sometimes it's integrity. Sometimes it's faith. Sometimes it simply just teaches someone how to think differently. Legacy is built every day. Building a legacy that lasts. It's built by the conversations we have, the example we set, the decisions we make when nobody is watching, the habits we teach, the wisdom we share. Imagine communities where every young person learned how assets work, how businesses grow, how stewardship protects resources, how leadership serves others, how faith shapes decisions. Imagine families where discussions about money include values, not just budgets. Imagine entrepreneurs whose first goal wasn't being rich or becoming rich, but becoming faithful stewards. Those are communities that become resilient. Those are leaders who multiply. Those are families that create lasting impact. Let's return to today's scripture, Proverbs chapter 4, verse 7. Wisdom is the principal thing. Therefore get wisdom, and in all you're getting, get understanding. Now, notice something. God doesn't say money is the principal thing. He doesn't say possessions are the principal thing. He says wisdom comes first, because wisdom teaches us what to do with everything else. That is why wisdom is the greatest inheritance. Thank you now for spending these few minutes with me today. If today's episode encouraged you, I want to ask you to do two things. First, share this episode with someone who's building a family, a business, or a legacy. And second, ask yourself this question. What wisdom am I intentionally passing to the next generation? Not what possessions, not what money, but what wisdom. Because that's where lasting wealth truly begins. Now, thank you for listening to Start Smart with Heart. Until next time, remember, start smart and lead with heart now, and build a legacy that will outlive you.